Today we're reading Luke chapter 15. Now, beginning in chapter 11 and all the way through chapter 14, Jesus has been hitting us hard with the consequences of the human condition. It's important here to emphasize that the consequences that Jesus has been talking about are all our own doing. It's easy to read Jesus' warnings and get the sense that he's setting us up to take a test, that if we fail, we're condemned to a terrifying eternity. But here's the thing. We have already failed the test. We are already well on our way to the outcome that he's been warning us of. And this is very bad news. Jesus comes into our lives not to deliver bad news, but to reveal the desire and commitment of the Father. In today's chapter, we read three parables, each conveying the same message. The first is the parable of the lost sheep. Jesus asks, if a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go to search for the one that is lost until he finds it? The short answer is no. I mean, sure, a sheep is an investment, and a shepherd might hate the idea that they've lost money, but a human shepherd would not risk the security of the remaining 99. The good shepherd, however, would do exactly that. Not only that, but the good shepherd celebrates and brags about the safe return of the one lost sheep. The second parable follows the same pattern as the first, a lost coin. In this context, a coin would represent a day's worth of work. And though valuable, the woman in the story still had 9 coins. Now, a 10% lost might be frustrating, but a normal person wouldn't go to the lengths described here. And then the final parable, the most famous of the set, is the parable of the prodigal son. Beginning at verse 11, we read this. To illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. We know what happens next. The younger son takes the money and runs. Now, before we get to the part about him blowing all the money on loose living, we need to recognize that his action had brought nothing but shame on the family, especially the father. Losing the money was insult on top of injury. And in an honor-shame society, the entire household, the father, the older son, and even the hired hands would be justified in their absolute rejection of the younger son. You know what happens next. The son returns in shame. What the father does is absolutely not normal. It's not just that he runs out to meet him. He wraps his son in his robe and puts a ring on his finger. The father is not merely welcoming him home. He is declaring to all that the young man is fully restored to his place in the family, and he is under the father's protection. At some level, anyone listening to these parables would say that they're absurd. No normal person does these things. And that is exactly Jesus' point. Our God is not normal. Our Father loves us so much that he will go to absurd lengths for his children. Remember, God sent his Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through him. Our God loves us enough to sacrifice his own Son for each of us. That is good news. The warnings are real, the threat imminent, the amazing message of hope, amazing. Salvation is the gift that Jesus brings, and it is good news that we are called to share. Have a great day, everyone.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, Subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.